All right.
That camera. Not that one. Middle one. Not that one.
That one can't see me at all. Yeah. Okay. Welcome back to our message recap, where we go over the messages that we had last Sunday.
Yeah.
This week we are in a series called Christian Politics. And the message this week was submission.
Yep. It was all about submission. Everybody's favorite word.
Yeah. It's so easy.
It is a swear word today, isn't it?
It's so, I don't even know why we're going to talk through a recap. Just do it and be done with it.
Yeah. Just submit and we're good.
Why? Because there's a lot of questions.
I actually had somebody, because I kind of prefaced towards the beginning. I said, listen, this is just part one. We'll get to all your questions, hopefully in part two. And somebody came up to me after service was like, I have a lot of questions, but I'm going to wait till part two. Like, okay,
nice.
good.
Very nice.
Nice. Way to not jump to conclusions.
Right.
That's awesome.
Or jump the gun. It's like I haven't heard the whole message yet.
Yep.
As you said, it's part one of two.
Yep.
A two-part message.
Yep. So my guess is, just because of the area we live in, I don't know where everybody lives who's watching online, but people in our community tend to typically lean a little more to the right and to the left. And the last 2 weeks have been pretty challenging for people that typically lean to the right. So don't worry.
Yeah. It's a tough
We'll
topic.
cover everything.
It needs to be covered. But I think you mentioned something in the message that was really good for all of us, and that is, this is more of an American issue.
Yeah.
We're so used to our freedom. Human history hasn't had freedom. I mean,
Correct.
Throughout human history, we, all of us, grew up and live in a country that is free, and because of that, we all have this attitude of, "Don't tell me what to do."
Right.
Don't tell me I have to drive a certain speed limit. Don't tell me I have to wear a seatbelt. Don't tell me I have to wear a mask. Don't control my life. Throughout all human history, human life was controlled. So this is more of a challenge for today, for us, than it has been for anybody in the past. And which I think, too, is if we don't know a little bit of history, which you brought out, we don't understand that those instructions written by Paul and Peter and those New Testament writers, that they were under incredible government control. Incredible. When Jesus walked this earth, incredible government control,
Yep.
And he never taught one thing about rebelling, stand up for your rights. You demand your freedom and you don't listen to anybody. That is so opposite of everything, So it was a tough message to deliver, tough message for us to hear. But all in all, I think all of us have to come to grips with the fact of, this is God's instructions for us. So it's tough.
It's pretty hard. You guys all remember when the mask mandate came out, and that was month one. Yeah. I don't know, what kind of crystal ball did you see before we transitioned? But I remember, really digging through the New Testament to see, are there some exceptions? How far does this submission piece go? I even had somebody come up and ask me, not the same guys before, but somebody asked, hey, I know you said submit until sin, but really, what does that mean? And what? I think it means you submit up until somebody asks you to sin. And that sounds so wrong. But it's not,
Right.
I can't find anything that, like you said, Jesus said, Paul said, Peter said, that would even hint towards anything less than that.
No, we're just not used to it.
And we had so many challenging conversations as a staff going over this.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it helped all of us understand true submission too, because not that we wanted to do it, not that we're perfect at it, because I am nowhere near perfect at being a submitting person during this time. even though I've tried in a lot of settings, but
Yeah. And there's a good point that you brought up. It's an American problem.
yeah.
It's if you go over to China and do this message, they'll be like, so everyday life,
So you mean what I've been doing?
just submit,
go to talk to Christians in the Middle East.
yeah. And they'll be like,
Oh, well, yeah. Duh.
I got it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And I think as Americans, that's why the submission only counts when you don't agree.
I didn't talk about that at all.
That's the really difficult part is I don't agree with that. But is it a sin?
Yeah. If you agree, it's not submission. It's just agreeing.
I think even a
doesn't
fine
count.
line with the sin thing is a government can make sin legal. And if it's a law, we submit to it. But it's when the government makes a law that you have to sin. Now, let me talk about abortion. If it's legal to have an abortion, that does not qualify being civilly disobedient or for us to,
Well, I don't have to submit anymore.
yeah, but if the government says you must abort your second child, now that crossed the line where I can't submit to the government telling me I have to abort my second child.
Right.
I even think too, we didn't, it was already a long message, but we talked about on Thursday, the idea of even if the government is not just makes a law that it's okay to sin, but even if the government is actively sinning, doing something against God, I remember talking to somebody probably last year at some point, and his whole argument against the submission piece was, well, if you don't stand up and rebel against that, then you're complicit in it, Well, no, you're not. Jesus paid taxes to the Romans who murdered millions of innocent people. Okay, I don't know about millions, so I just made up that number, but they were actively involved in new idol worship, murder of people, tons and tons of things, and Jesus still paid taxes to them. So, what? You're not complicit in that.
No.
That doesn't make any sense. His whole thing was, well, if you don't stand up when they start putting the Jewish star on, you're complicit in being a Nazi. No, you're not. That doesn't even make sense.
No. And again, that's where our American rights have outweighed our Christian view, that we should be looking at it, as you said, we should curb or view our politics through a Christian lens and not the other way around.
Yep.
And I think because we have it so good here, we've flipped it.
And honestly, a lot of the stuff that we're talking about submitting to in America is so superficial. I was going to say weak compared to the rest of the world. It's not like the Middle East where you could be beheaded. It's not like China where you have to go to underground church. Most of the stuff we're talking about that we don't, masks. It's still a hot topic. Come on, really? Isn't the mission more important than this stupid mask thing? And that's the part that I think was most frustrating for me, trying to, get our church to be mission focused. And so many of us just got hung up on a mask. And I understand, I hate them too. I think it's unconstitutional, but can we fight that second and let's keep the number one thing the number one?
Right.
Right.
The question you asked was really, really good. And that was, if they reintroduce the mask mandate, would you wear a mask to reach people?
Okay, just me? No, I don't want to.
Right.
It's just like I drive 60 miles an hour on 95. But for the mission, well, yeah, I already did. I'd do it again. It sucks. I hate it. I don't agree with it, but...
No. And I thought it was...
What does that have to do with anything?
Also really good, the second question. If they said you had to wear a green shirt, would you do it? It's the same thing. You're wearing something.
But I don't like the color green.
Yeah, either do I.
Yeah. My father-in-law texted me yesterday afternoon. He said, great message. Where do I buy my green shirt? Oh.
Yeah.
I hope we don't have to.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah.
The vaccine thing, just comment, just because I had another person ask me about the vaccine thing, and is the vaccine the mark of the beast? And no, I don't think so. But what do you guys think about that one? Because as we talked, as I've thought about it, I can probably lean a little bit to the I'm not going to get a vaccine, but I want to know your thoughts on where does submission fall with a vaccine?
I'll go first.
Okay.
I think it's the same as a mask. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I am anti this vaccine for sure. But I'm not going to condemn somebody if they want to get it. That's fine. You do what you want. I just don't want to put it in my body. I don't think they've done enough testing on it. I don't want to be part of the guinea pig pool and see what this thing does. But I mean, in the end, if it kills me, I get to go to heaven.
Yeah.
So
I win.
So I still win, and I still get to reach people.
So
while I'm here, if they made it mandatory,
if they made a mandatory, hey, in order to work out whatever, you would get it.
If I had to get a vaccine to continue to go to church, to continue to meet with people, yep, I would do it.
You?
Okay. Well, I actually already got the vaccine, so I'm check that off the list.
Boom.
But for me, it was actually a huge struggle, and it was an issue with submission because my husband felt very strongly that I get it. He has a list of his reasons. I have a list of my reasons on why I didn't want to get it.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I needed to submit to him and for my family. And so it's that S word.
Do we have gold stars somewhere?
Ooh.
You get a gold star.
I got it.
I am not going to voluntarily get the vaccine at this particular point. Two reasons. One is I'm not super afraid of COVID, just not. I've never gotten the flu vaccine, and I, maybe could have or should have. I don't know. I just don't. I'll go through the sickness, But I'm not against it either. Like it's the Antichrist or anything. I think that's ridiculous. It's hard. I don't fall into these, believing in these conspiracy theories that they're trying to wipe out the human race. I just can't go there. Maybe somebody is, but I doubt that.
You don't believe there's a microchip in the vaccine?
Haven't you seen the magnets stick on people's arms? Have you done that? Yeah. Does it stick?
Stays there forever. What? No, actually it doesn't. It's just a little thing so they can have a bullseye. I don't know why they need a bullseye, but whatever.
Who cares?
It's fine.
But I want to go hunting in Canada, Saskatchewan, and I heard last year I was going to go hunting there, and borders were closed. I just found out this weekend that we can go hunting there if we have the vaccine. I'm getting a shot. I don't have it planned yet.
You're getting a shot to get a shot.
I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to figure out a way to make a fake thing that.
No.
Oh, I am. Just so you all know. I'm thinking. I'm just starting to think about. I wonder
Lots
if I
of
can
states
make.
have put up blank ones on their state websites that if you lose yours, that you get when you go to get the vaccine. You don't have to go get it again. This is a spare card.
Yeah.
And let me just throw something
We don't
else in
want to
there.
promote lying.
I'm not telling anybody else to do it. It's just what I want to do. But here's the deal. I think that my personal life, I don't want fear to control my life. A fear of getting sick, fear of not getting sick, or fear of getting fear is not what my decisions are made from. It's logic and thought and common sense. And, I just try to look at the big picture. I'm not afraid of COVID. Now, if COVID changes and it gets where it kills half the people that get it, I would be completely different. Now it's a logical decision that this is a serious thing. That's just how I do it. So would I get the vaccine if the law said I had to? I would. But we have to finish this conversation. I can't wait till next week because after next week's message, I'm afraid to even talk right now because I don't want to give it all away. So I'm not saying a whole lot, but I know this. Once it is a law, you must submit to it. unless it's telling you to sin. Now, some people would say, but it's telling me to sin to put some poison into my body. That's a personal thing. I don't believe so, but
that's where I would say the only argument I've heard that I could understand and get behind is because of the type of vaccine it is, and it's some like mRNA something. I don't know enough about it, and I don't care enough about it to even research. But the fact that it actually changes your DNA, I think that would fall into, where Paul writes about things against your own conscience would be a sin. I would want to personally talk to somebody a little bit more to find out, like, is that really what you believe, or you just saying that sort of thing?
yeah,
But
it's an excuse.
It's an excuse. But I could see that being something. But most of the things that I hear from people, granted, not all of them are Christians, but this idea of not taking the vaccine because I'm afraid to die.
Yeah.
Well, I do not understand that one at all. Like, for Christians, I do not understand that at all, because, like you said, well, we win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the big deal? Like, 10,000 years from now, is it going to matter if I went 30 years early? Nope.
Nope.
It's going to be fine.
But, and I'm not going to give it away, but everybody needs to hang on to next week is our responsibilities. And these really do go hand in hand. And that's why, it's hard to talk about this without the other, because it really puts things in order in our responsibilities and what to do. So it's tough. But I would say this, once it's a law, we need to submit to our governing authorities.
Yep.
Unless they're telling us to kill our neighbor. You must kill your neighbor. Sorry, I can't do that. Throw me in jail.
Yep.
You know.
There you go.
All right. So before we give anything away for next week, Kevin, we'll call it. All right. That's our message recap. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.